Hey guys, it's Big Pilgrim here once again, and once again today Mathel has stolen my build, so we're gonna try to get one last video out to put a pin in this character once and for all. I feel that we've kind of invested a decent enough bit. We've got Awakener 5 down, we did the league start, the league has started. Kind of want to re-roll this weekend into something a little more consistent and tanky, because as much fun as I've had with Crackling Lance, there are some caveats, and it's definitely hurting my fingers a little bit more than I would like. It is a more active playstyle with positioning and all that. So we're going to get into a map, and I'll kind of just talk about it and show what's going on with the build, what I've changed, and what I've learned from the Crackling Lance. So we've got the 6th link now for the Crackling Lance, and the Orb of Storms is 5 linked. Probably eventually will be 6 linked if I wanted to invest all the way in this build. But it seems pretty fine now. I guess the only really notable thing that I've done is I've gone for... Well, I don't even have faster casting now. I don't really need it. People like Spell Echo. Like almost every single other Crackling Lance build I've seen uses Spell Echo, but it's just not for me. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't know why. I feel like it makes me stand still like slightly more than I would like, and that's how you get killed, because Crackling Lance is the sort of build that you'll just kind of take some weird clunky deaths sometimes, you know? That's the nature of something that stands still. Not to mention that, you know, depending on your perspective, with how much we're relying on Orb of Storms for coverage, because, like, let's see. When you have, even after teleporting, because of the jewel that I'll get into, some intensity stacks, at a distance you'll get good coverage, you know, the mobs will start to funnel in, but on some maps, be it more open, this is a weird layout for Promenade. You're just going to want to toss down an Orb of Storms for a little bit of utility and a little bit of coverage, just to cover your ass. This is the cover your ass league. Certainly in heists it's nice to have. You see, it's just, there's just a bunch of stuff you can do with it, depending on exactly what you need in your build. And I don't think it's really... You're just doing yourself a disservice. But it's a little bit of a scary map. Let's see if we can tank this. So that's not that bad. Like, in terms of damage, I feel like you can get way worse than that. Like, and you know, this is tier 15. It doesn't have that many scary mods on it. I guess Extra Fizz is cold, but that's really more you know, defensive. I don't know if you can see, we have way more energy shield than we did, because we actually are only running Herald of Ice as our damage. I guess Aspect of the Spider is also, that's kind of offensive and defensive, and you're probably honestly not going to get Aspect of the Spider in your build. I kind of got like super lucky, and I just know that it's a sort of it can kind of go into almost any build, I think. Maybe not any build, but it's pretty decent. So yeah, that's the map. I don't want this video to be super long, because again, Mathel is going to render all of my work. Just totally obsolete. I mean, he's just going to do it better, right? Probably. He's an Inquisitor and everything. So let's go over the links. Crackling Lance, Intensify, again, just works with the Lance. Increase crit, you could go for Controlled Destruction as well. I mean, I have both just to kind of even each other out, because I'm not super confident in my crit like calculations. I'm pretty sure like the Inquisitor Ascendancy and like the Consecrated Ground doesn't take my tooltip into account. And with, I guess... Yeah, I mean, with max, you're almost at 50 with the Diamond Flask. I think maybe I can get rid of this, and you can go for, probably not, Innervate. Conk Effect is a lot more damage. Area of Effect doesn't really seem like that much. You could go for faster casting. That's kind of what I preferred. You could go for the Spell Echo as well. Inspiration is probably going to be used regardless, unless you're doing the Archmage version. And then Hypothermia is just more damage with hits and ailments against chilled enemies. Pretty huge, beefy gem. So Orb of Storms, right now I have Energy Leech, which is really nice. In addition to the energy regen you get on the Inquisitor Ascendancy while you're standing still. Like Energy Leech is just like another form of recovery that'll help it shoot back up, especially now that we actually are running Vol Discipline to bring up just the effective HP pool as much as we can. Onslaught I put in here. You can swap Onslaught into your Herald of Ice. It really depends on what you want. If you have it in your Orb of Storms, you can get it on bosses, kind of, which is kind of nice because that helps you with positioning during bosses. And then you'll also pretty much have it up 24/7 while you're mapping. Ice Bite is a little bit more inconsistent, but you swap between it and see what you like. I mean, you can also do whatever else, like Power Charge on critical. That's pretty nice to just have on bosses. And then Inspiration linked here, which you don't need. I just do this for damage because you're actually doing a lot of damage with the Orb of Storms if you're like properly casting it on top of a target and you're on top of the target. If you got it overlapped and you're here and here, every single cast that you're doing will proc damage. That's pretty good damage because you're building up the stacks, and then the Inspiration stacks you have work for both of the skills. Pretty cool. I'm actually not running the Vitality right now. The only 3 auras I'm running are Discipline for about 600 extra ES, and then I can run the Vol Discipline as well as the Vol Righteous Fire just to kind of, get a little bit more defense and offense on a boss. Herald of Ice with, whatever setup you like, and Aspect of the Spider. If you want, you can probably run Herald of Thunder instead of Discipline, or Herald of Ice and maybe not Hatred, either Hatred or Wrath, whichever one ends up giving you more damage. Again, if you're doing the cold conversion method with Call of the Brotherhood, Inquisitor can just kind of do it and swap between it, so you can see whatever you like. The only gear upgrades I made since the last video was I got a 6-link Spore Guard. Spore Guard is pretty cool. I've never used it before. It gets some Chaos Res, and I'm pretty sure if I wasn't doing cold conversion, this would give me like some form of exploding chest, because enemies on fungal ground you kill explode. And I think the level 10 Contaminate, like, it kind of pops stuff that's further away. You can see it around me now. It's like we have consecrated ground and we have the unconsecrated ground here, this gross blight stuff, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure if that's actually helping that much, but it's what I 6-linked first. And you can also anoint it, which is pretty nice, because I was using a bunch of points to get into here on Divine Judgment. There's definitely better anoints that you can do. Like Static Blows or something would be nice. I should probably do that on my amulet, because I'm probably not going to be able to upgrade this realistically. The whole build is really coming to the point where the only thing I can really push would be jewels and like a lot of stuff there. So yeah, we spec'd out of this so that we could go down here to get, well, I guess I should mention the Apex mode jewel. Shouts to the person in my comment section from the last video who showed me this. This just helps you maintain intensity, and so I'll tell even after losing all the stacks immediately. Do I like not lose all the stacks immediately? Yeah, it's kind of weird. It just helps your damage spike up more if you know how the intensity works. It makes the beam be the strong beam, and even though you keep it up as you're moving around, because it's what is it? Spells which have gained intensity recently gain 1 intensity every half a second, so it's pretty spiky in terms of damage. It means that you have less coverage overall because you don't get the big, the zappy beam. You pretty much only get that one, but that's fine. That's kind of what you want, because the shatters will help you with coverage, and you're running Orb of Storms anyway to cover your ass. And then we go to Sanctum of Thought just to get some armor. I guess I need to go into this setup here. Cast some damage taken. We've switched over to Molten Shell because we have a lot of armor here in the Spore Guard, which is pretty nice. And then Frost Shield is actually really strong, especially with the amount of energy shield. You kind of have to tweak it for your own. I actually am like underutilizing it, I think, because you get, what is it, 400? I don't know. I don't want to get into how Frost Shield works. It's going to take it. It's just good. It's one of the new good defensive options we have, especially if you have some AoE and some energy shield that you can invest into it, and then it'll take tons of damage effectively off your stuff. More than Sigil of Power, really, unless you have high mana cost. Sigil of Power just takes too much work to get done. And even this, I mean, I just put it in a cast when damage taken setup. There's the Discipline. What else were we running? Flame Dash, Arcane Surge, Righteous Fire, Second Wind. I'm using the Arcane Surge, which is supposed to give you more cast speed or something. I don't know if this one's like bugged or something. But yeah, whatever. Great League. I actually started to crash in some of my heists, which feels fantastic. So I didn't really have that many problems the first weekend, so it feels really great to, get that whole first weekend experience in the bag. What else do we want to mention? I guess Inquisitor, what is it? Bandits, we kill Alira. Pantheon is whatever. This I kind of use this for bossing, and Shikari just because Hunter is annoying to kill. I don't know what else to say. I mean, that's pretty much the video. That's pretty much the build. I love Dust On. It's nice to have Dust On as an option that I'm kind of confident in now for some elemental builds. And yeah, if you have any other questions, I might have covered it in the previous video. But I think we're about putting a pin in Crackling Lance. I'm going to re-roll this weekend, hopefully on Twitch. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know, we'll see what goes on. I might play this for a bit today, just to like kind of help some friends do some stuff, because they're getting into maps and things like that. But thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and all that stuff. Even though I'm kind of a little bit not as excited for Heist now that I've been crashing and they're kind of like nerfing it and rebalancing it, I still have some faith that, you know, we'll get a good league, good, solid, consistent league at some point, and you want to have, you know, your characters and stuff set up. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.